Hey guys, what's up? It's Kevin for the win, and we're back for another edition of Diablo 3. Today on the channel, we are taking a look at the Patterns of Justice set armor for the Monk class. This is the S tier build for the Monk. Alright, so let's get into it. Patterns of Justice. Sweeping Wind gains the effect of every wind, and the movement speed is increased by 5% for each stack of Sweeping Wind. 4-piece bonus attack with Tempest Rush reduces damage taken by 50% and increases spirit regeneration by 50. 6-piece bonus, hitting with Tempest Rush while Sweeping Wind is active, increases the size of Sweeping Wind and also increases all damage dealt by 15,000%. So as you can see from there, this is a Sweeping Wind Tempest Rush type of build. As you can see, we're mostly using a full set of Patterns of Justice. Here we're going to use Koshiro's Soul, that way we can get Sweeping Wind, 2 stacks of it whenever we're not actually using it. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, Conventional Elements, Wamku Limb, and Vengeful Wind for your weapons. Increases the maximum stack count of Sweeping Wind there. Wamkum Lin. Hitting with Tempest Rush activates Cyclone Strike, and both skills deal damage. So, Cesar's Momentum. Enemies take 721% increased damage from your Tempest Rush for 5 seconds. When they're blinded, frozen, or stunned, we'll use Rondel's Locket here as a placeholder because it's got good stats. As for the skills, Crippling Wave, Rising Tide, Tempest Rush Flurry, Epiphany, Desert Shroud, Sweeping Wind, Inner Storm, Blinding Flash, Faith in the Light, and then Mantra of Salvation, Agility. For the passives, Beacon of Yitar, Harmony, Seize the Initiative, and Relentless Assault is the way you want to go. In the Kanai's Cube, I recommend Balance, Mantle of Channeling, and the Ring, really, you can play around with it. I think S of Johan actually does pretty decently for this particular build. If you're wearing Captain Crimson, you could put a Ring of Grandeur in there. I don't really care for the Captain Crimson on this particular build. Alright, for the flower recommendations, Broken Crown, Flavor of Time, Nemesis Bracers. Everything else is kind of throwaway. Goldskin's not so bad, though. But really, the free you need is Broken Crown, Flavor of Time, Nemesis Bracers. This is a super, super fast and powerful set armor for the Monk. That's why it's called S-Class. You're going to see in a second. For the purposes of this showcase, we will be doing a grader of 60, 65, 70, 75, and 80. That way we can show you how the armor performs from Torment 13 through Torment 16 plus difficulty, because we are doing seasonal, right? So we need to know how well this armor is going to fare in regards to those levels and how far it can go objective-wise. Alright, when you get into the Greater Rift, the first thing you want to do is channel your Sweeping Wind, then automatically activate your Tempest Rush. As you can see here, whenever you are attacking with your Tempest Rush, the Cyclone Strike will naturally cast, pulling enemies into you. Also, keep in mind that we have the S of Johan that helps with that tremendously. So pretty much what you want to do with this armor is just maintain your Sweeping Wind stacks, add onto it whenever you can, and just go Tempest Rush. The good thing about this is you can actually hold in the Tempest Rush for the most part, because you regenerate your spirit that you are draining. However, if you see that you're running out of a lot of spirit, what you will want to do, or you're getting low on it, you want to activate your Epiphany. Your Epiphany will help you get back a lot of your spirit. It will make you go faster. If you attack while you're way at 100 fists, you'll be able to teleport around. On top of everything else, it's a damage reduction type of thing. So although we don't have the damage reduction type of things that we would normally have using the Captain Crimson variation of this particular build, we still have a lot of damage reduction thanks to the Epiphany, which mitigates that. Okay, now the reason I don't particularly like the Captain Crimson on this is because I like to use the Koshiro's Soul, and you can't necessarily, in the Kanai's Cube, play around with what you got because you need everything that we have in there as it is. Subsequently, if you see that, in particular, a Elite Pack is taking a long time to take down, what you want to do is use your Blinding Flash, because remember, based on our bracers, anytime that the enemy is stunned, or blinded, or frozen, they take increased amount of damage. So keep that in mind. For the gems that you would be wanting to run on here, you want a Bane of the Stricken, you want a Bane of the Trap, and you would also want a Teguk, because remember, you are using a channeling skill that benefits from it. That is pretty much the way to go with it. You don't really need a cooldown reduction gem like Goaka's Swiftness, because you're regenerating a lot of your resources. Anyway, as you can see, we are fastly already tearing through. For the Riff Guardian, very simple. Sweeping Wind, Tempest Rush, use your Blinding Flash. After your Blinding Flash and you're still running through with your Tempest Rush, you should be able to one-shot the Riff Guardian, particularly on the lower levels. So again, Bane of the Stricken, Bane of the Trap, and Teguk is what I recommend for this build. Bane Powerful could help you, maybe on the lower levels, but not necessarily as you get higher up. So we're really focusing on as you're getting higher up into it. For the Monk, the starter set for Season 24 is the Uliana set. So you have two methods you can go, ironically. I already spoke about this in the Ina armor. Hold that for a second, though. Greater Rift 60, 2 minutes and 10 second clear time. So that just shows you how powerful. And this isn't even optimized. This is like maybe 2 gem pieces are augmented to legendary gems of level 80 value. Alright, same strategies before. Activate your Sweeping Wind. Then go Tempest Rush. Blinding Flash, anything that you think might be tanky or you just want to get it out of the way quicker. Alright, and then you just kind of hold it in as you're going through this. You will be regenerating your spirit as long as you're Tempest rushing around. Anytime that you feel like you're going to take a lot of damage or you feel like maybe you're burning through your spirit a little too quickly, you can always activate your Epiphany. And when you activate your Epiphany, you will take not only less damage, but as you can see just there, as I did right there, you will get back a lot more spirit that way. Anytime you see a Elite Pack and you have Blinding Flash active, I would recommend Blinding Flash because as you get higher up, you just can auto implode these things. There's a lot of interesting intricacies for this particular armor. It's very fast. It's very powerful. It has not been nerfed. I have a feeling since it's one of the newer armors, it may actually see some nerfs if we do get a Season 25 of Diablo. But that remains to be seen. We'll have to wait till after the release of Diablo 2 Resurrected in September to see exactly what Blizzard's plan is in regards to subsequent Diablo 3 seasons, or if this is kind of the end of the game's lifespan. Okay, again, just Tempest Rush around. Make sure you have a Sweeping Wind active. Whenever you can add a stack of Sweeping Wind to this particular build, make sure you do so. You can do that, actually, add a Sweeping Wind stack while you're Tempest Rushing. So for those of you who might not be familiar with that, yeah, that's what you can do. Alright, in terms of optimization, what would you be doing for this armor to optimize it better? Well, first, for starters, I would recommend personally, cooldown reduction 8.0% wherever possible. I would recommend resource cost reduction wherever possible, because you want to be able to activate not only your Blinding Flash super fast, but maybe you want to get your Epiphany back on cooldown super fast, so that's why 8.0% cooldown reduction is good. Also, if you feel like Kyosho Soul's not working for you, you can swap to the Captain Crimson, and you already have the optimization there to increase the amount of damage. I think this does well enough that you don't necessarily need Captain Crimson, but a lot of people do. And the link in the description is linking you to a Captain Crimson variant. I like to play with my own personal spin on things sometimes, though. Alright, let's see. Greater Rift 65, 1 minute and 45 second clear time. And that was without any sort of real optimization. Just like 2 pieces of the armor augmented with a gem level 80 or higher. Alright. Greater Rift 70, same strategy as before. Activate your Sweeping Wind, then Tempest Rush. Anything that you feel is going to cause you a problem, you just want to get it out of your face super quick. Go Blinding Flash. As you're going Tempest Rushing into it, it will pretty much automatically implode, unless it's super tanky. From there, anytime that you see that maybe you're going to take a lot of damage, or that you feel like you're burning through your spirit quicker than you can gain it back, you can activate your Epiphany, and when you activate your Epiphany, you'll get back and take less damage that way, so that's why it's on this build. Again, those are pretty much the damage rotations that you're going to be doing with the Patterns of Justice set armor. It's a very simplistic one, very easy to use, very easy to pick up, doesn't require a lot of optimization. Further optimization outside of cooldown and cost reduction, or resource cost reduction, I would recommend, obviously, wherever you can power up your Tempest Rush and your Sweeping Wind, to do so. Get it to 15% wherever available. Subsequently, on your helm, I would recommend running a crit hit chance 6.0%, because more critical hit damage that you can do, the better it will be for you. I also recommend on your gloves, crit hit chance 6.0%. I also recommend on that same gloves, crit hit damage 50%, and a attack speed at least 6.0, but preferably you want 8.0%. That way you can attack things faster. Those 3 stats on your gloves will increase your attack stat tremendously, which will mean your clear times will go up, or not up, but your clear times will go down, and your attack value will go higher, which is very important. Here I'm going to Blinding Flash, because remember, they're a little bit more tanky. As you Blinding Flash and you Tempest Rush here, you will pop through things. Also, because I was potentially going to take a lot of damage there, I activated my Epiphany, which not only brings back my spirit up very fast, but as well as I take less damage. So, after you've gone through all those optimizations, you should be good. To further optimize this armor, obviously what you want to do is have every piece of your armor, your weapons, your necklace, your rings, either ancient legendary value or primal ancient legendary value. Obviously having them all primal ancient legendary value might be quite a challenge, as there is a lot of RNG woes that go involved in regards to that. So definitely keep that in mind. Also, so like I was saying before, you want either ancient legendary or primal ancient legendary, and then what you would do is you will augment gems, legendary gems, into the armor. I recommend doing them at level 80 value. Obviously, the higher up, the better it is, because you get a higher attack stat. Obviously, you want to use flawless emeralds because you are a build that focuses on dexterity, so you want an increase in dexterity, so you have more attack stat value that way. So keep that in mind. In terms of the gems, like I said, even in the armor, I'm just using things to increase my attack stat. In the link to the description, if you want to run Amnesia and everything of the sort, you can look it up yourself. And you can think, I'm going for attack. I really am just going for speed running through things, so that's why I'm less focused on trying to tank hits and everything of the sort, because I don't really need it for what I'm doing currently. Alright. Now, in terms of where this sits in the tier list, Patterns of Justice is an incredibly fast armor. It does a lot, and it's very easy to use. I blinding flashed the Riff Guardian there, and as you saw then when you're Tempest rushing, as long as you have the sweeping wind stacks up, you will be able to make him go kaboom. But in terms of tier list, I would say Patterns of Justice is very, very high up in the S tier list. Like, obviously, leaderboard placements, the first two things you're going to see the most of is Gears of Dreadlands, followed by Wrath of the Waste, which is the Whirlwind Barbarian build. Then from there, it kind of shifts into different things. So, like, Masquerade of the Burning Carnival would be next as one of the highest ones on the list of things that are going to be used. Then, subsequently, you have Bombardment Crusader. Ina is looking very powerful as well. It's not as fast as this one, so I would probably put Patterns of Justice right after Bombardment Crusader, because they're on level with the same type of speed in terms of clear times. Then I would say Ina. After Ina, I would say Chantotum Vir. After Chantotum Vir, Typhon set. After Typhon set, I would say then, from there, the Valor set in particular, because it's got nerfed. I would say it's probably not even on the S tier left. Maybe before Valor, I would put Mundanugu. Mundanugu is not bad either. It's just saying I'm doing it comparing less optimization versus clear times, and really Patterns of Justice is pretty close right after, I would say, Masquerade of the Burning Carnival and Bombardment Crusader. It's like tied for Bombardment Crusader's placement. So it's very powerful. It's going to be very high on the tier list, obviously, and it's going to be one of the things you see a lot in terms of monk builds that are going to be dominating. Although I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of Ina builds, just because Ina, if you haven't checked out my video on that, definitely make sure to do so, as it is a very, very surprising turnaround of an armor that was S tier that went to either high tier to close to S tier. You know, very tremendous turnaround, especially when you optimize it appropriately. So that's definitely what you want to do. As you can see, my strategy is not changing. It's greater. Maintain the sweeping wind stacks, and then obviously Tempest rushing through things. When I see something's tanky, I go blinding flash and Tempest rush, because obviously with the bracers, anytime something's blinded, stunned, or frozen, keep in mind things are also getting frozen because of the Bane or the Trap Gem that we have here. Because once you level it to level 25, it naturally does slow. You're doing a lot of damage. You're able to implode things a lot. Like, this is one of the most easy armors to use and doesn't require a whole bunch of fussing with it. So I recommend it, definitely. Like, your starter set's going to be the Uliana set. Then it's a matter of whether you want to go Ina or this. I recommend if you're just trying to be the best of the best for the season, leaderboard placement, and you just want to finish your seasonal journey super quick, like with this armor fully optimized, where I'm saying all pieces ancient legendary or higher, and like augmentations of legendary gems are 100 value or higher. 2 weeks of this, if you're playing it like non-stop, you'll clear your seasonal journey very easily. If you're even that, and you're just playing like casually, in theory with this, a month to a month and a half at max, really, and you should be pretty much completed with everything, which is just about right in terms of casual type of clearing of the seasonal journey. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. Obviously dump your Uliana for this, and if not, then go Ina. Those are my recommendations for Monk. Everything else is just kind of like, Sunwoku's not bad, but this is way better of a Tempest Rush build, and it requires less mechanics to get it necessarily Right, okay. Again, maintain sweeping wind, epiphany when we feel threatened or we need to get back a lot of spirit that we have burned through. Blinding flash on anything that's super tanky. In this case, it's always usually going to be the elite packs. So keep that in mind. Now, people have been asking me on the channel exactly what I'm going to do for Diablo 2 Resurrected's launch and what it's going to be for Diablo 3 con. Well, like I said before, in many videos before in August, I'm really going to be playing it by ear. The plan right now is to do 2 Diablo 2 videos a week when it's after it's released, and then 1 Diablo 3 video a week. That's also, I'm going to be gauging the audience to see. I'm also going to see if there's going to be Season 25 of Diablo 3. Okay, Riff Guardian, same strategy, maintaining the win stacks, Blinding Flash, Tempest Wind. It's going to take a little longer because as you're going higher up, if you're not fully optimized, it takes a little longer. Don't get, like, stressed out. Obviously, I said that's longer, but it was a matter of a couple seconds. Maybe he died in 10 seconds. But that's kind of what I mean when I'm getting at this. Also, like I was saying before, though, with Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, I'm looking to see if Diablo 3, there's not a Season 25, the plan right now is that I would do final builds for every armor in the game, and they would be my final builds, and I would kind of bid Diablo 3 a fun farewell. I'd probably still play it, but maybe I won't play it on the channel, and then I would focus completely on Diablo 2 builds. If there's Season 25, however, and they keep supporting it that way, I would focus on Diablo 3 and Diablo 2. Diablo 2 would get more videos, obviously, because it's a newer game, and there's probably a lot more people are going to be playing that as opposed to 3. Alright, Greater Rift 75, 3-minute, 18-second clear time. Alright, this is Greater Rift 80. This is the last Greater Rift I will be doing, because we pretty much got the point of this, and can see that, really, it's a matter of a couple seconds as you're going higher up in 5s. When you're going up by increments of 10, probably about 45 seconds to a minute, if you're not really fully optimized. It's all about optimization, and if you've got ancient legendary items or primal ancient legendary items with augmentations of legendary gems that are level 100 even or higher. In terms of where this armor stands, this, when fully optimized, should take you... inexperienced players will probably cap out at about Greater Rift 135 solo. Experienced players that know what they're doing and have optimized it properly and got the rolls that they need, you're looking at probably getting close to Greater Rift 145 to 150 solo. Again, it depends on your skill level, how you're playing it. Are you playing it on PC? Are you playing it on console? Obviously, it's a Switch platform. But all information that I put here applies to everything. But keep in mind, it's really skill dependent in that way. You know, if you're an average player and you're using this armor, if you use it in a group of with 3 skilled players, and you're all S tier armors and truly optimized, you should be able to do Greater Rift 150 with general ease and decimation. So, you know, it's a matter of really whether you're a solo player or not. But skilled solo player, they definitely can clear Greater 150 with this when it's properly optimized. So yeah, so that's pretty much what the game plan for me is for Diablo 2. I'm also curious to see what the end game is going to be, if it's going to be similar to it or if it's not. So, you know, we'll be focusing on that. I've pretty much leaned at this point to playing Diablo 2 Resurrect on the Nintendo Switch. I'm still waiting to make the final decision as to whether I want to play it on PC, because obviously I have a game on PC, as I mentioned, but I think right now, Switch I'm leaning towards, because I already did Diablo 3 on the Switch, and I'd like to give my Switch a little bit more love, since I've been playing mostly PC things now on my laptop. You know, so Diablo 4 obviously is going to be PC only for the time being, so I think I'm going to probably do Diablo 4 on PC and do Diablo 2 on Switch, but only, you know, time will tell, because there's still a lot of time before the release, and I haven't pre-ordered as of yet, because I'm still trying to make up my mind exactly as to what I'm doing. The only good thing is that Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out like a week after my birthday, so it's kind of a late birthday present, so to speak. Alright, so, same strategy as before. Tempest Rush, making sure you have your sweeping wind stacks maintained. I got 10 stacks of it, so obviously I'm doing the maximum amount of possible damage right now that I can. Alright, keeping the Tempest Rush going. Keep it going, keep it going. We're almost close to the Riff Guardian. So yeah, definitely. If you have thoughts on this build or any other build, then you want to give me your thoughts on Diablo 2 or Diablo 3, obviously feel free to do so in the comments. As I always say, thank you to everybody that likes the videos, subscribe to the channel, leaves comments. You know, positive, even constructive criticism is welcome as long as it's done in an appropriate manner. You know, I love interacting with you guys. Without you guys, there would be no channel. I say this a million times over. If it hadn't been for Diablo 3 community, I probably would still not be on YouTube even at this point. Alright, so, with the Riff Guardian there, it was simple of, you know, maintaining sweeping winds, blinding flash, Tempest Rush, those rotations pretty much does a tremendous amount of damage. And like I said, you can see here, it's not like I'm pushing a lot of attack stat, really. It's just a matter that all the buffs that are being applied to everything together works out tremendously for this particular build. So we're going to level up those gems, and then pretty much I will identify some weapons, and then I will bid all of you a fond farewell for this particular video. Let's go. I'm trying to figure out a jump to level up here. Obviously, the Enforcer can actually be used for the Ina set, like I mentioned in the Ina video. If you haven't checked out the Ina video, definitely make sure to do so. All my Diablo 3 videos are available in the playlist. They're not separated by Season 24. I probably should make a Season 24 playlist to make it a little bit easier for all of you. I think I'll actually do that the next time that I'm on my YouTube. So that make it a little bit easier so you can find the particular playlist. So it's not too big. Diablo 3 plays pretty big. Alright, Greater Riff 80, Torment 16 plus difficulty, 3 minutes 11 second clear time, and this is only with like 2 or 3 augmentations on my armor. So that just kind of shows you the tremendous power that you're dealing with. This is the best armor to use for the monk in Season 24 if you want high leaderboard placement and you don't want to spend an eternity in particular just grinding out your seasonal journey. However, I'm probably going to rock Ina, because Ina looks really cool. I want to see if Ina has as much S tier potential as I think it does, which it looks like it has a tremendous amount of potential when it is actually optimized properly. So, it's some exciting times for Diablo 3 players, too. Season 24 has brought a lot of interesting changes, and then you got the Ethereals, although we don't get to keep them. You know, a couple upheavals. Valor's nerf in particular, very shocking, has kind of changed the dynamic completely for the Crusader. Unfortunately, I didn't get any really good loot this particular run, which is kind of unfortunate. Alright, we'll repair. Anyway, guys, as you know, that's pretty much going to do it for today's Diablo 3 video. As always, a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated on this video, as it helps the channel grow. And I will see you for the next Diablo 3 video. Till next time, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy.